I keep telling you and telling you there's nothing you can do. It's not the sort of thing that can be cured with a phone call or a cosy little chat. It's... Oh, God. David.
Rosemary, what's wrong?
I'm frightened. I'm so frightened, David.
Here. Come and sit down.
Sorry.
Come on. Now, what are you afraid of? I can't do anything unless you tell me what's wrong.
When I told Chris that I wanted to come to London for advice, I told him it was to see my lawyer. But it wasn't legal advice. It was medical.
Medical?
Yes, I had an appointment with a Harley Street specialist.
Did you see him?
No, I got as far as the waiting room and then I panicked and ran for it.
What sort of specialist was he?
He deals mainly in cancer cases.
And that's what you think is wrong? Are you in pain?
No, but that doesn't mean anything, David. There are other symptoms.
You've got to see a doctor, you realize that?
I know, but I'm frightened, David. Wouldn't you be?
But not going can only make it worse.
Well, don't you think I realise that? But I'd rather live in ignorance than have the stone-cold certainty I couldn't stand it.
Oh, what about Chris? He's got to live with you, remember? You've seen how this has affected him already.
Will knowing make it any better?
Well, of course it will. Besides, you're assuming it's hopeless. Let a doctor decide. There are countless things they can do now.
Yes, I keep telling myself that.
Why not go and see Derek? I mean, it's not as if he's a stranger, is it?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I do.
Well, what are you doing?
I'm seeing if Derek is still around the motel. If he is, will you see him?
All right.
Hello. Is Dr. Maynard still with Sandy?
Look, what I want is moons more than...
All right, all right.
Push the skin back a bit.
Is that all right? I'm not hurting you.
No, that's all right.
Well, look, just put it in there and just let it, soften up a bit.
Blimey, the water's gone cold again.
Oh, it's all right. There, let's have a look.
You don't happen to know where our Jill's gone?
Sheila? No.
You might have said.
Leave her in peace, Dad.
Did you ever talk with this, Jill?
Sort of.
Well, didn't you try to argue her out of...
Not really.
Well, you should have done.
Dad, it's too big a question. It's complicated. I'm not wise enough. Is anybody?
Well, you haven't got to be wise to know what's right and what's wrong.
That's not true, Dad. There's some things that... Well, you'd have to be God to know what to do.
He laid the law down. Thou shalt not kill.
Yeah, well, that's all right for them as believe.
Are you trying to tell me that Sheila's right?
No.
Then she's wrong.
Not trying to say that either.
Then what the hell are you trying to say?
I'm the wrong bloke to ask. We want a kid. We want a kid badly, so I'm prejudiced, ain't I? Look, we're talking about abortion. Now, the law says that it isn't murder up to a certain stage of development. Now, I don't know. I mean, I ain't a doctor. I ain't a vicar. Even they disagree among themselves. But what I do know is that our Sheila doesn't think it's wrong. And me, I'm like Jill. I ain't wise enough to tell her different. I disagree with her, but I can't tell her I'm right.
Well, I can. And I will. Never mind your arguments and all your clever blokes in government. What do they know? It's all in their heads. But it's feelings, lad. Feelings. God-given. Here. That's where the truth is.
All right, Dad. You sit down. I'll make you a nice cup of tea, eh?
No, I'm going to bed. I'm tired. Sick and tired.
Now then, I've got some tablets. I want you to take them, sleep, and don't take any alcohol with them.
All right. Well, Derek, what do you think?
I think you'll need to rest and stop worrying about it. Now, first thing in the morning, I'll make an appointment for you to be thoroughly examined. In the meantime, try and relax, all right?
I'll try.
Rosemary, I know what you're going through, but you were right to see me. If more people could overcome their initial fear and see their doctors, we could do so much more.
It wasn't my idea. David persuaded me.
Well, the wheels are in motion. That's the important thing. Now, phone my surgery tomorrow morning. I'll give you the time of the appointment, all right?
All right. Thanks, Dick.
Have you finished?
Yes.
I'll see you out.
Thanks. Well, good night, Rosemary, and try and relax.
I'll try.
Stan? I want to talk.
All right.
About Sheila.
We've been around that particular circle too many times already.
Now, will you put the paper down? I think I've got an answer.
Look, love, there are certain things that we must each find our own answer to. Now, Sheila's made a decision and I don't want to argue about it any more. We shouldn't have had that argument with Dad. It only...
Will you listen? Look, suppose we offer to adopt her baby.
No,
Well, you might at least consider it.
I have.
When?
Just the moment you mentioned the idea.
I'm serious.
Yeah, well, didn't think you were making a bad joke.
Is that all you can say?
No. Well, it's all I want to say.
Why shouldn't we adopt her child?
She'd want it back.
But she couldn't have it back.
But she'd want. What? Want it and she'd be here.
Not necessarily.
But likely. And even if she was in Timbuktu, she'd still want. And she'd know where to come. And she'd come.
But she'd have to be told.
Would you?
Well, I'd agree to it.
Yeah. It's debatable.
I would.
All right. But you're not Sheila.
Well, if it was done all properly, legally tied up.
Well, if Dad was right about anything, he was right about feelings. You can't legislate against feelings. Sheila's made a decision and she'd get that kid back. In the end, she would get him back.
No, she couldn't.
What if she asked? Pleaded?
Well, I'd tell her no.
Would you?
Well, I think so.
That's the first doubt. And after the first doubt, you're lost. Even if you were tough, which you're not, and even if you weren't compassionate, which you are, she would still get that kid back. Sheila would still get that kid back because she'd be here fussing over it, watching how we brought it up, how we clothed it, how we talked to it, how we fed it. This'd be wrong, that'd be wrong, and something else would be cruel. She'd indulge the kid and the kid would love it. Auntie Sheila's nice. Auntie Sheila's kind. Auntie Sheila knows best. And then there'd be the natural pull. So, Jill, just forget it.
Chris asked me to say goodnight.
He's gone to bed, has he?
Reluctantly. Went into town this afternoon, bought some textbooks. That must be a good sign.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
How should I feel?
Well, we'll know more about the situation tomorrow.
You make it sound like a weather report.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. You don't regret seeing Derek, do you?
No. Well, not at the moment, anyway.
Good. Surely nothing could be worse than the uncertainty of the last few weeks.
No, but as I told you, David, I am a dreadful coward.
No, not really. Just human, that's all.
Well, I may as well go to bed. I just hope these things work. Good night, David, and thanks.
Good night.
I didn't realise.
What?
Tomorrow's Friday the 13th.
Hello.
Hello.
How's the design going?
Well, fine. Actually, I was hoping to have a word with you and Aunt Meg.
Well, she's over at the Droitwich at the moment, am I right?
Oh. Well, it's only a question of going over the sketches. If you've got time, I think I can improve on the new chalet layout.
Oh, well, they're still in the office. Tell you what, you keep an eye on the desk, and I'll get them.
Fine, okay.
One of my favourite people. Hello, Brian.
Hello, Diane.
Can I introduce you to a friend of mine? This is Mr. Page. Mr. Page, this is Mr. Jarvis.
Hello, Brian. How'd you do?
So, where is everybody then?
Well, we'll be back in a minute.
Well, when they all come back, we're going to buy you a little drink.
Well, I'm sorry, Diane, but I'm still working.
You're working at this time of night? Well, you know what they say, all work and no play and all that rubbish.
Yes.
Hey, what do you think of that?
Oh, that's very nice.
Oh, it's beautiful. Mr. Page bought it for me. It must have been ever so expensive.
No, it's just a trinket, a small token, you know. They do have some staff here then.
I'm sorry, we are rather short-staffed at the moment.
I want another bottle of scotch to take over to my chalet.
I'll have it sent up from the cellar.
Well, you mean I've got to wait?
It won't be long. Evening, Diane.
Hi.
All right.
Thanks, David.
Evening.
Well, what do you think you're doing, checking up on me?
No, I just come in for a drink. Anyway, I thought you'd gone home.
Yeah, well, you know what Thor did.
Now, look, I'm going to have a word.
Oh, push off!
You heard what she said. Now, look, you had your chance with her early on, remember?
Look, I don't know who you are, mate.
Look, the lady is with me. Sorry.
Now, look, don't get funny with me, mate. Now, push off!
Well, Timmy, it looks as though we can forget about putting our feet up at the Crossroads Motel.
I don't know what Meg sees in that chap, Mortimer, you know. She'd be far better off with either of us.
Yeah. All he's got to offer her is money, charm, position, love. Yeah, that too, by the looks of it.
Well, management certainly seem happy about the conference.
Yes, I believe.
And they liked your little talk on the Australian wine industry, Kevin. I'll have a word to the boys when I get back to Sydney.
Well, tell him to send me a few bottles to drown my sorrows.
Well, something wrong?
No, but big business deal that I had going seems to be falling through.
Oh, anything I can do?
No, thanks just the same.
Oh, Timothy, it's been a marvellous evening. I was just telling Meg I do love this place.
Yes, we're sorry to move on tomorrow.
What about you, Hugh? Will we be seeing you back at the motel?
No, I'm afraid I have to leave first thing in the morning. I have a plane to catch.
I didn't know. Timothy, are you taking me back to the motel or not?
Yes, of course, my dear, yes.
Well, goodbye, Hugh.
Bye, Cynthia. Hope we meet again.
Yes, I do hope so.
Bye,
Good night.
Timothy.
Goodbye, Cynthia. I think Kevin wants a room at the motel for a few days.
Oh, don't worry, I'll attend to that.
Bye, New York turns out all right. Bye.
Bye.
Come along, my dear.
Listen, Meg was just telling me that you want a room at the motel for a few days.
I was going to tell you later.
It's just that I didn't realize you'd be going so soon.
I know.
Come on.
You want another drink?
No. Shouldn't have been so rude to Mr. Page.
That creepy was lucky. I felt like breaking his neck.
Well, he's a friend of mine. He gave me this nice brooch.
Yeah, just the sort of cheap, flashy stuff he would buy.
Well, I like it.
Now, look, we're going to talk about this.
No, we're not. I haven't got time.
Yes, you have. Now, you listen. I'm going to ask you one or two questions. I want a straight answer.
All right, I'm listening.
Right, this fella Page. He doesn't mean anything to you, does he?
I told you he's a friend of mine, a very rich friend.
Is that what I am, eh? Same as him? A convenient bank account with no strings attached?
All right, you want it straight. You can have it straight. Push off. I'm sick of being imposed on.
When have I ever imposed on you?
All the time, all this business about, oh, Diane, I do love you, and I want you to feel the same about me. I've heard it all before, and I'm always the one that gets hurt.
So you've never had any feelings for me at all?
No, I have not. I got involved with men before. I got involved with 3 men. Do you think I'm going to get involved with you and make the same mistake again?
Oh, come on, Di. Look, it's late. We've had a few drinks. We're talking about it in the morning, eh?
I won't feel any differently in the morning. You're wasting your time.
Gone so quickly. What time in the morning?
8 o'clock. Breakfast with him?
I might wave you off from the balcony.
Meg, this is absurd. We can't.
Oh, yes, we can. We've said goodbye before. It's not so difficult.
It is for me. Well, do think about it. You write to me.
There's no point. Things don't change. It's not just Sandy, it's Jill and Stan and all my friends. I couldn't turn my back on them. Oh, why did you have to come home? I was perfectly happy.
Darling.
I'm going to bed before I make a bigger fool of myself. It's over, Hugh. It was over a long time ago. We've just been daydreaming.
Try looking at me when you say things like that.
I hate you.
I know. But darling, we don't have to live in Australia. As soon as I get back, I'll start clearing out the company.
Oh, you can't.
Well, of course I can. Take a little time, but it can be done. We'll wait, won't you?
Yes, I'll wait.
I bought this afternoon.
Oh, Hugh.